I have a gift for you guys. 500 plus free tips for your next Prague visit. There's no catch, no clickbait. I'm gonna share 500 plus useful tips about Prague with you for real. You're gonna get them all on your phone, accessible at one click. Lists of best cafes, restaurants, must-dos, you name it. Let me show you how it works. I have decided to share my personal recommendations using Google Maps. This video is not sponsored by Google, unfortunately. Actually, it's not sponsored by anyone. But this is my life. All of these took me 12 years to test and 4 days to write them down for you guys. So there are several lists, and the way it works is that you need to choose the list that you are interested in, save them, and voila, you have them all on your phone. As simple as that. The reason why I decided to use Google Maps is, of course, out of convenience, and also because I can always edit the lists, so you will get the most updated version there is. Also, you can always access other people's reviews in case you want to do your own research. Alright, let's look at the lists. Let's kick it off with must-see sites. Charles Bridge, Prague Castle, Astronomical Clock. Obviously, I also made lists of theaters, museums, and art galleries. Right now, for example, we are at Kampa Museum, which is a misleading name since it is an art gallery, modern art gallery. I also created 2 lists called Stunning Churches and Modern Sculptures, in case you're into art and you want to explore more. There's also a list called Prague Geek. These are the sites which are less touristy, but I still find them interesting and I wanted to share them with you. This is one of the examples of the places you can find on Prague Geek list. It is called Deer Moat, except there's no deer and it is not a moat. It is a canyon, in fact, located on the north side of the Prague Castle. There's one cool thing here I wanted to show you guys. Let's go. Here it is, guys, Pleskot Tunnel, named after its architect, Josef Pleskot. Ooh. And you can see Brusnice stream going all the way there, so it's kind of like a gorge. Just FYI, Deer Moat is kind of hard to find, a little bit of a hidden gem. We'll be showing you how we are getting out of here and how we got here. This is one of the entrances to the Deer Moat, located next to Brusnice tram stop. As you can see, it is not really an accessible entrance, so bear that in mind if you have a stroller, for example. We are currently in Wallenstein Gardens and we have another Prague Geek attraction here, so let's go find it. Here it is, the dripstone wall. This one is kind of unique because if you look very closely, you can find lizards, lions, scary faces staring back at you. This video has no sponsors and no promotions. It is a free gift for you. We would also like to invite you to our tip-based and paid tours that we run daily. Check out our website, sign up and meet one of our guides who are going to give you an insightful and entertaining walk around Prague. All of our guides are licensed local professionals, predominantly from Prague actually. But I swear it's not on purpose. So join us to have some fun and learn about the world-famous sites from people who love their job. Back to our free recommendations. The next list I wanted to share with you guys is the list of lookout towers and viewpoints. One of my most favorites. If you like taking photos, this is the list for you. Obviously, the lookout towers have paid entrance, so bear that in mind. They also don't open that early, usually at about 10 AM, and the viewpoints should be for free. Some of these views are quite classic, like this view from Letna, and some of them are more unique. Just make sure to do one thing before you go out in the morning to take photos. Check if there is a fog, because we haven't. And no, we are not filming in October, it is April. Oh well. Another opportunity to take photos is our list for gardens and parks. Right now we are in Voyan Gardens, which has a lot of peacocks. They are very loud, these guys. Few things to know about this list. Some gardens close for winter season, which starts at the end of October and lasts till 1st of April usually. So make sure to check the opening hours for your visit. Also, some gardens have paid entrance. For example, gardens below Prague Castle, Vrtba Garden. I tried to mention how much is the paid entrance in the comments under the gardens on the list, as you can see over here. I will try to update them regularly, but please cut me some slack. Welcome to Paradise Garden, a hidden place neither of us have been to, even though Václav was born here. I gotta say, Paradise has a lot of rules. No smoking in Paradise, no alcohol in Paradise, no cycling in Paradise, no dogs in Paradise. I thought all dogs go to heaven. No breaking branches in Paradise, makes sense. No skateboard, no swimming, no fire. Kind of boring. So far, this Paradise Garden is a hell of a climb. So why did we decide to share all of these things with you for free? To let you guys in on something, the city of Prague and people in charge of tourism are trying to make everything more expensive. The city tax is going to be raised soon, and travelers from all over the world have been pointing out to us that Prague used to be more affordable. On top of that, you have bloggers who are trying to cash in on every single crown you're bringing here by selling you products you will only use once or twice and then forget about them. That's where real Prague guides come in. Because guess what? If you stop me, Václav, Nico, or any of our guides and ask us, where can I find public toilet? Where can I get chlebičky? We will just answer and won't charge you for it. To emphasize once again how to use the lists I've created, I've written 2 articles. One is about sightseeing and kind of essentials, and the second one is about food and anything related to it. You go to these articles, they're all available on our website, and you click the name of the list that you need. It takes you to Google Maps, and then you have to save the list on your device to use it later. You can save all of them, you can just save a couple or just one, whatever you need. Let's talk about food. This was the hardest category for me to write. As you can see, there are a lot of lists, but let's start with Czech traditional food. I put around 40 restaurants on that list, which is a very modest number. There are many more in Prague, but I decided to stick the ones that I've been to and the ones that have exceptional reviews. The next category is cheap eats. We've done a whole video about this one recently. We'll link it down below, but this is a miscellaneous category. This one includes fast food places, street food, cheap restaurants, canteens, so on and so forth. Then we have upscale restaurants. For example, right now we are at Kuchyň. We've been to this restaurant in this video. You can check it out. We'll leave it in the description box. This is the list for people who want to spoil themselves a little bit or spoil their co-travelers. The price range here is about 300 to 400 crowns per meal. If you're a foodie, you might have heard of chlebičky, an open sandwich, very popular food here. So of course we had to create a list of places where you can try those. Now we're gonna go to a very iconic one. It's called Golden Cross, Zlatý kříž. I know we have said that it was closed in our 2025 Prague update video, but guess what? It has reopened since then. I guess we'll need another update. All right, let's go have a look. Then we have a list of cafes. When I finished this one, I was horrified. It looks like I've been to 100 cafes in Prague, you guys. Coffee should be running down my veins at this point, but I cut it down to 70. This is probably why I could never answer a question, what is your favorite cafe? I maybe have top 30. And now you do as well. Actually, I'm in the mood for some coffee now. Let's see what we can find. Looks like there are 3 places on this street. Let's go to this one. All of that was just 100 crowns, you guys. Not too shabby considering we are right next to Charles Bridge. All right, I'm gonna enjoy it. Okay, found the perfect spot. you guys. By the way, this is the bench of Václav Havel. Maybe I should include it on the Prague geek list. And because I have a sweet tooth, I decided to create a list of bakeries where you can try local pastries. Today we went to Kus Kolache, which is a place that frequently has a line, but we were lucky today. And I got blueberry kolache, this is the round pastry that you see here, and Pražský kolache, so Prague kolache, which doesn't look like kolache at all, but it kind of is. All right, let's try blueberry one. This is gonna be a mess because I'm a little piggy when I eat. I think I've found the best blueberry kolache in Prague. I'm pretty sure. Oh my god, I want to have more. Hold on. This is heaven, you guys. You're welcome. I apologize for the crumbs, but if you haven't seen, we have a video about pastries, local Czech pastries. We'll link it down below, you can check it out. In the same lane, we have a list of breakfast places. Very important to check my notes under those, because sometimes these places don't accept cash. Whew, we are done with food, believe it or not. Let's quickly talk about shopping. Obviously, we made a whole video about it, and I've created a list of shopping malls in case you need that. But I also finally got my hands on the list of the second-hand stores and thrift stores. The thing about thrift shopping is that you never know where you will find the perfect piece. So I decided to write down all of the thrift stores that I know that exist in Prague. There are around 60 of them. So now you can thrift and enjoy. Actually, there is one right behind me over there. If you have seen other videos about Prague, you are probably under an impression that as soon as you're gonna land your feet here, you're gonna be scammed. One of the places where it happens frequently to tourists is an exchange place, so I thought we will create a list of those for you. Not the scammy ones, the good ones. Actually, it's pretty hard to tell which one is what. You can only base it off of the rate that they offer, because some of those definitely ended up on the news for doing some money laundering. But do we care as long as they offer us good rates? I don't think so. Most of the exchange places are located in the new town, so make sure to visit Wenceslas Square and nearby streets if you want to exchange some money, because if you will go to the Prague Castle in a lesser town, there are not so many of those there. Actually, I was only able to find one in Strahov Monastery. It is a little bit suspicious because they have very few reviews. Usually it means that they deleted their previous account and started a new one for unknown reason. So yeah, if you need to exchange money, please visit the new town first. And last but definitely not least, a list of public toilets. You never know when you should go, right? So I made sure to write down at least 60 of those that I could remember. All right, now we are filming in the Prague Castle and I really need to use the restroom. Pretending that I don't know where to go, let's open our little map, shall we? Ha, look, there's one right next to St. Vitus Cathedral. Let's go. And here we are. You see the sign behind me, right? So would you be able to find it without this map? Maybe, but it is very convenient to have it, right? Make sure to bring some coins with you because a lot of them are paid and they only accept cash. Now you're good to go for your number 1 and number 2. That's disgusting. All right, now you can explore Prague freely. If you want to tip us something via Super Thanks, we will not protest. I did spend around 4 to 5 days writing it all down for you after all. Thank you for watching and we will see you in our next video. Bye!